And here we have another one from Ajijoe. This one is Ajijoe's chocolate teardrop, and it's an interesting look to it. It almost has a tail to it. Good size pod too, and it's not as dark a brown colour as a lot of these chocolate pods tend to be. This one's slightly lighter, but we'll see what it looks like. Missed the tail. Very juicy. Now that one has a little bit of a scorpion-like smell to it. Actually, it's very habanero-like, but there's a little undercurrent that might be a little bit of a scorpion undercurrent. Nowhere near as much as the Scorpionero, the number 3 Scorpionero I reviewed recently, but it does have a little bit of a scorpion smell to it. Very thick-walled indeed. It's going to be a crunchy one. Ajijoe's chocolate teardrop. Cool. Hi, Nigel Carter back again, and this time we have a different one from Ajijoe. This one is Ajijoe's chocolate teardrop. A pretty big pod. It's a really nice colour. It's actually much paler brown than most of the chocolate pods I've seen, but it's a good sized pod. Smells very fruity. It does have that dark pod smell, the chocolate pod kind of smell, which is earthy and rich. And there does seem like there's a little bit of scorpion going on in there, but hopefully I'll be able to tell that from the taste. So, cheers. It's very, very habanero-like. Incredibly thick-walled and juicy. There's a good amount of sweetness. There's also a little grass green undercurrent to it. I don't really discern much in the way of scorpion in that. A very muted chinense flavour. But it's just generally fruity, a little bit earthy, but not much, but with that grassy green undercurrent to it, which is surprising. In terms of heat, right now it's round about habanero hot. It's so crunchy and juicy. It's much nicer than just eating a habanero, an orange one. It doesn't have the depth of flavour that things like the Jamaican chocolate habanero have, but it's much juicier and fruitier than one of those. The heat's it's still going up. It's all tongue burn right now, not much else. It's probably a little more than habanero hot. It's still on its way up. But for a chocolate pod, the flavours are just, it's like a red pod that's just slightly muted, which in some ways is a good thing. But for all you chocolate pod lovers, possibly not the one that would turn you off. But that's nice. Yeah, it's a nice flavour. A little neutral, and by that I mean it doesn't have lots of big flavours that dominate. It's just generally fruity, a little muted, not quite as acidic as the red. with a chinense flavour. It's more than habanero hot. It's just about getting up to peak now, I would say. It's probably around, it's not far off twice habanero hot right now. It's just gone into the back of my throat, so it's actually just making my throat throat a little sore. So it starts off very much with mouth burn. It's all tongue burn really, and now it's just gone to the back of my throat, and I just feel like I've got a bit of a swollen throat now, a bit like when you have a cold. It's a really nice pod, that one. That'd be a great one for cooking with, because it would add some subtle flavours and some heat without adding dominating flavours that would overpower things. That would probably be very good with seafood. Again, things that are subtly flavoured and not big and powerful. Seafood, pork, probably be good with pork. Certainly, I think, be an excellent one with whitefish, things like halibut. Yeah, that's a very nice pepper. And the aftertaste is, again, it's very muted. It's slightly chinense, slightly grass green, and not much else really. It's, as I say, it's a fairly neutral pod without big bold flavours, which would mean it would be excellent, as I say, excellent in all sorts of cooking. And yeah, I would say probably twice as hot as a habanero now. It's just started to go down, but with the slight pain in the back of my throat and the way my tongue and my lips are burning, that's reasonably warm without being ridiculous. It's a nice pod. Yeah, I like that one. It's not like a lot of chocolate pods that I don't like very much, to be honest, but that one's a good one. Neutral flavours all around. It would be very good for stuffing. I think it's big enough that you could put meat and cheese mixtures in there very nicely, and the heat isn't too hot that you couldn't enjoy them. Good. Alright, so that was Ajijoe's chocolate teardrop. Very nice pod. So thanks to Joe, and thanks to you all for watching, and I'll be back soon with some more. So I'll see you soon. Bye.